So to see it come from imagination to concept now to fruition is really satisfying for sure. You're looking at the end result of about a 3-year project.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have found the all-new 2026 Foretravel Realm Presidential Series prototype, and it's an honor to be hanging out with Tile 4. How are you today, sir?
Good to see you again, Andrew, and your crew getting ready for this Tampa Super Show 2025.
Well, we just got a sneak preview of a huge change you made on the Foretravel Realm Presidential Series for 2026.
Yes, so we're standing in front of my 26 prototype, and we've got a brand new dash that we've been working on for almost 3 years. So to see it come from imagination to concept now to fruition is really satisfying for sure.
We just got a sneak preview. This new dash is unlike anything we've seen in the industry, so you definitely stepped it up. I'm really excited to show the folks today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know that you did an all-new interior color scheme that we've never seen before, but what's all going on the outside of this coach?
Yeah, so this is a brand new exterior that we did. This is called Ironside, with the silver and the maroons and the fading and then the marbling. So I think it turned out really well, and hope it's going to be a popular one.
Yeah, really cool paint design here. And if you didn't already see the video we did at the Foretravel factory in Nacogdoches last year, definitely worth checking out that video where we were able to see the paint job and the way that you build these coaches. What else is new for 2026?
So most of our emphasis obviously went to the dash, and you know, new exteriors, new interiors are always kind of that revolving door. You're working on that smaller thing. Now with a coach with black wheels, I now have a black button to release the cargo doors instead of a bright shiny one. Again, just trying to dial in some of those details.
Yeah, I noticed the blacked out wheels as well, and these look like the American Racing, real high-end wheels.
Yes, that's right. It's been very popular. I mean, it's probably 75% ordered that way with the black wheels over the aluminum.
And we also see some really cool 25s here in your display. You've got probably the nicest display here at the Tampa Super Show. I think you've got, what, 4 or 5 coaches
We have
here?
5 coaches and a chassis.
Yeah, and all different color combinations. Now, the other coaches here are 25s. This is the only 26 prototype here.
That's correct.
Are there any other color combinations that you're coming out with for 2026?
As far as interior or exterior?
Exterior colors.
Exterior, we kind of play around with that and change it just kind of periodically throughout the year. We really don't have a set time to do that, so we just kind of roll with those.
Yeah, but this is a very classy style with the silver, maroons, very rich color, and really looking forward to showing the folks the interior. But what else is going on in the bays of this coach?
Yeah, so you know, the basement is our traditional layout. You're going to have your combination refrigerator, freezer, and your first passenger bay. Second one is going to be a full pass-through with a slide tray. Of course, we have the pressure washer stand for the pressure washer on the other side, and
now,
then water.
Does that come standard with the Presidentials?
It does, yes. It's technically an option, but we put it on every single coach. And then we have our screen door. So I worked with MagnaShade, obviously with the screens on the exterior, but customers always wanted a screen door. But screen doors really haven't evolved since the 70s, and you know, they rattle, they make noise. So I worked with MagnaShade, and we actually developed a screen that is split in the middle, so it attaches around the frame of the door, and then it's split in the middle so you can pass through and have your door open. And then you pull it down and just stow it when you're not using it. So it's worked out well. And then third bay is going to be more storage.
Full passenger bay. I see you've got a lot of goodies in there. Is this, being at the show, I'm sure you've got some extra stuff loaded up in this
Yeah, this was my pack mule on the way out here. So in the fourth bay on the passenger side is the back side of the electronics. And again, you know, being at a show, I've pulled normal items that are inside, outside.
I see the Foretravel owner's manuals. I always love seeing the way that you have those in a nice clean compartment there.
And then, you know, your water manifold bay. So again, all stainless steel, and then you have your drains for your hot and your cold lines if you need to winterize the coach here as well.
And what are the holding tank capacities on this coach?
So freshwater is 120, and we run a combined gray and black of 160 gallons.
So a lot of holding tank capacity.
And then you have a gray water bypass, so if you're hooked up to a sewer source, and if you're washing clothes or taking a shower, you can open the gray water bypass, and then it just bypasses the tank and goes directly into the sewer and doesn't fill up your tank.
What's the diesel fuel tank on this?
So we run 200 gallons of fuel.
Wow, you could put a lot of miles down with 200 gallons of diesel.
Absolutely.
And we talked about it a little bit when we visited your factory in Texas, but I love the way your slide rooms look with the rounded edge and the way you bring the paint scheme. There's like a marbling effect in this stripes.
Even through the bottom.
Oh yeah, on the bottom too, yes sir. Well, also the lights here below the slide rooms, very cool effect. What type of slide rooms are these, and what type of lighting are we seeing there?
Our slide rooms are hydraulically driven, so we utilize HWH hydraulics, and then we incorporate a bladder around the perimeter, so that bladder deflates, allows the room to travel, and then reinflates to 14 psi when you're extended or retracted. So you have that weather-tight seal no matter where you are or what you're doing, you know, with the room extended or retracted. Because we don't have a flange, because when this room is retracted, it's totally flush with the sidewall. It then allows me to add accent lighting, such as this, because I don't have a flange that's covering up the gasket when the wall retracts.
Yes, sir, and the other big advantage of that is just keeping noise out and then keeping the temperature consistent. You're not letting any cold or warm air out of the coach. And when we test drove the 2025 in Texas earlier last year, I was surprised you actually performed at the very top of the best of the best when we did the decibel test.
I think it was 62?
It was extremely low, extremely quiet, very impressive, and I think having that air seal inflate, it's going to keep that road noise out while you're going down the road. And then also when you're parked at a show like this with traffic and stuff going on, going to keep the coach much quieter inside as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and then of course on a hot Florida day, you don't want any of that cold AC to escape, so it's going to keep the temperature more consistent as well.
Absolutely.
And then a really important option to me, the emergency egress door. Is this a standard option on all Foretravels?
It is a standard feature, along with, on the Presidential Series, we're loaded up with safety features. So, starting at the beginning, we have our on-guard adaptive cruise control and collision mitigation. You have a backup alarm, you have your escape door, you have Tyron blowout prevention in the steer tires, Delta Mobile 8-air system with now it will show you if there's an object next to you and illuminate a red line displayed on the camera. And then you have fire suppression in the engine compartment. All of our coaches are built to RVIA spec, so they will come in unannounced and do an inspection on everything in production at any given time. So we have to follow strict building codes, which attributes to a safer coach in our opinion.
Yeah, so all of those safety features are standard on the Presidential?
Yes, they're standard. We don't have anything safety related as an option on the Presidential.
Yeah, very important. I know you've always been very proactive in adding all of that safety stuff that could really save you in the future.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
And I see right now you've got this kind of turquoise color lighting below the coach, perfect for the Tampa Super Show, almost matches the ocean water out in the bay there. But that's a cool color. I don't know if I've ever seen that particular color before. Is that something new?
Yeah, so this year we implemented a new controller with different lights on the outside that have some different color options and gives us some different features.
Depending on what someone's favorite sports team is, you could change that up. And I know we have the shades down right now, but I'm seeing a little bit of lighting around the windows. When we open the shades up, we're going to see those lights as well.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm noticing some nice lighting below the awnings. What type of awnings does this coach have on, and will those lights come out with the awnings?
Sure, so that travels with the lead rails. So those come from Girard, the awnings that we use, and they come out and then they will angle down to provide better shade for your patio area.
Really gives you some nice patio space under shade there when you put those awnings out. Now you're one of the only RV builders that build on the Spartan K4 chassis versus the Spartan K3 chassis. What's your reasoning for building on a Spartan K4 instead of the K3?
Sure, absolutely, and we have a chassis here in the display that we can certainly look at, and I may even have a special guest speaker for us there.
Yeah, I think we take a couple steps over this way. Let's take a look at this chassis here. What's the difference between a Spartan K4 and a K3 chassis?
Sure, thanks for asking that question. So we've got our K4 chassis here. The main difference is going to be our truss bridge torque box frame. So if you notice in a K3 chassis, it would be what we call a conventional ladder frame construction. So you'd have two C channels with cross members in between. If you looked down on it, it kind of looks like a ladder with some rungs. Our K4 chassis, we have our integrated frame system here. So tubular frame rails, and in fact it's two tubes up top here to help with the bending moments induced in the frame. And what this does, it provides a flat, stable foundation for Foretravel to start building their coach on.
And do you know if there's any weight difference between the K4 and the K3 chassis?
There's a little bit of weight difference. I don't have that number exactly, but still the coach builder regardless is going to add some structure. So if this wasn't here, Foretravel would be adding basement structure in there, and it's all steel frame construction.
I want to ask Kyle more about that in a second, but what else is the big advantages of a Spartan chassis? I know when you get to the higher levels of the motor coach industry, everyone's using the Spartan. What is it about Spartan why builders are choosing your chassis?
Sure, so part of it's our side-mounted service center at the back, so we make accessibility to the air dryer, air governor, batteries, very accessible through the back right compartment. Our passive steer tag axle offers up to 17-degree turn capability, so that allows you to maneuver through the campgrounds very easily, or tight parking areas. Maybe you got to do a U-turn someplace. With Foretravel, they actually have what we call a shift inhibit system and a park brake release inhibit system. So a couple extra safety features that we worked with them, incorporate into the coach. And then up front, we provide the front suspension. So we've got a anti-sway bar, nice custom tuned shocks. Foretravel takes the extra efforts and adds a ping tank and a valve system in here, but it's called their performance choice. So that gives the coach driver the opportunity to change their ride comfort, how the coach reacts.
And are these options from Spartan, or do they all kind of come standard on the K4 chassis?
So it would be standard on the K4. Again, the K4 chassis is built exclusively today for Foretravel Motor Coach.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with the folks on YouTube about Spartan?
So Spartan's been in business close to 50 years now. So started by some folks that left Diamond Rio Truck, got in the RV chassis business in 1986. We've been building chassis ever since, Class A diesels. Brought the independent front suspension to the Class A market back in the mid-90s, and we just continue to evolve and adapt with the market.
And I hear people raving about the Spartan Service Center in Michigan, but what is the network for people that want to get service on their Spartan chassis?
Spartan has over 280 authorized service facilities in the U.S. and Canada. Foretravel Motor Coach has is an authorized service facility at their factory as well. So we're able to work with a number of different service facilities to address any issues that might come up while the folks are on the road.
I've ordered parts from you before, got great service from the folks in Michigan. I had a motorhome on a Spartan chassis. But if someone needs to get service work done and they're not really close to a Spartan chassis, are you able to work with independent service centers to make sure these coaches are getting service?
Our team will work with those service centers, ask a few basic questions, and just make sure we're comfortable that they're qualified to handle the work that's needed, and we're able to work with whoever's out there that's qualified.
Kind of help walk through them, make sure they're taking good care of that coach.
Absolutely. Our customer service techs will have schematics, drawings at hand if they need, and they'll answer questions and work right with the technicians themselves.
Yeah, that's very important. And then also people can call your facility in Michigan and order parts or whatever they need as well.
That's correct.
Jeff, really appreciate your time, and
thank you,
thanks
Andrew.
to everything Spartan does for the industry.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so Jeff was mentioning that Foretravel adds to the Spartan K4 chassis. What all do you do to the chassis after you get it?
Yeah, so the way that we spec the K4 is we spec the front IFS unit to be Rayco granning. The drive and the tag axles are Rayco as well. But the way that we spec the Rayco is with the anti-roll bar, the ARB here, and then we have custom tuned Bilstein shocks that are specific for the Rayco granning IFS unit. When we receive the chassis, we remove the air fitting, put in an electronic valve that then has a 3/4 inch line that feeds an auxiliary ping tank. And then we wire in a switch, and what that does is that gives the driver the option to go into sport or touring mode. So in sport mode, the valve is closed and it's utilizing your air spring, the ARB, and the custom tuned shocks. With the valve open, it increases your volume by 44%, producing an 18% softer ride. So if you're in one of those, out on the interstate, you would put it in touring and it's going to give you a softer feel. Mountain roads, switchbacks, you put it in sport and you get a lot less lean left to right. Feedback on it's been great, so we actually have it patent pending.
How long has Foretravel been doing that?
So we started in 2024 year models.
I wouldn't say new technology. I think this technology has been used in the automotive industry for a while,
Absolutely.
but pretty new for you to use it. Let everyone else be the guinea pig and kind of piggyback on their proven technology.
Right, absolutely.
Coming back to the rear end of this presidential, just an absolutely stunning style on the rear end of this coach. We've got the 605 Cummins X15 back here.
That's correct.
And what's the towing capacity?
So we have 20,000 pounds and 2,000 pounds of tongue weight.
Okay.
So the GVWR or GCWR on this coach is 74,000. On average, we're going to weigh between 49 and 50,000 pounds.
Okay, so some heavy carrying capacity.
And you can, again, see your fire suppression. There's the backup alarm is back here as well. All the filters are remote mounted. So again, that's a customer service thing, the way that we spec the K4 with Spartan, just to make it more accessible for the end user in the shop if they're having to perform any work.
Yes, sir, and I know that's an expensive option to add that fire suppression system, but you're doing that standard on all the presidentials?
That's correct.
I can imagine, to keep costs down, a lot of people would want to strip stuff like that out, but I think it's really important that you have that. Having that peace of mind and that extra
Absolutely.
safety is always important.
You can't put a dollar sign on your safety.
Coming around to the driver's side, this is a huge slide room for the bedroom slide. I think it even goes into the bathroom as well.
It does. So this is a luxury villa 2. So it has 2 very large rooms on the driver's side and then 2 good sized rooms on the passenger side. But it's probably one of our most popular floor plans.
Yes, sir, a lot of living space. I'm really looking forward to showing the folks the interior. But what else is going on the bays on this side of the coach? And we're also seeing these sensors around the coach.
Yes, so that is part of the blind spot monitoring detection. And so that will give you the indicators in the mirrors of an object being next to you.
Yeah, that really helps, especially at nighttime when it's harder to see stuff, especially 45 feet of coach there. That's a lot of space to monitor.
A lot of space to lose something. So coming in the last bay on the driver's side is going to be our utility station. So again, stainless steel lined, you have your control panel so you can dump the tanks once you're hooked up to the sewer source. Of course, everything is stored behind the panel, and you have your sewer hose. The great thing about how we utilize the sewer hose is once it's connected, you don't ever have to disconnect it. It will go through a trap door, come out, you undo the ball head or the ball valve at the end of the sewer hose, and then open the electric valve. And then when you're done, you can rinse it out and leave it connected to the pipe and just pull it right back up into the storage area.
So no fumbling around with sewer
No.
hoses, putting them in the bays and
No.
worrying about that. And then a nice spot, take a shower, wash the dog off. Every little detail's finished out, like the Foretravel logo here, kind of etched into that stainless. Really cool look there.
Coming in front of the utility bay, we have our hose reels. So we have a Glendenning electric reel and then a Glendenning water reel. So the water reel is 50 foot long and the shoreline is 36.
And then I also see the HWH hydraulic system tucked back there. Your AquaHot 600, that's the big boy AquaHot.
Right, so it has your dual electric heating elements and twice the capacity. And then behind that, we have a compressor that will maintain the pressure in your bladder when your engine's not on. And so it'll monitor that system, and if it sees a pressure drop, it will turn the auxiliary compressor on and reinflate the bladder till it shuts off at 14 PSI.
Yes, sir. Is that motion lights? I think I noticed
Yes.
the light turned off there after we weren't using it for a while, but nice, save your light bulbs, and
Yeah.
those will turn on and off with the motion. And then also just a nice port here to run your 50 amp and water line through the floorboard there, so it's a nice clean look.
Yeah.
So.
And then on the back side of the hose reels, you're going to have your 2 3,000 watt inverters.
And are you offering a lithium battery option?
So I don't have a lithium battery as a standard option, but for instance, we are working with 2 separate customers right now, and both of them are requesting lithium batteries. So we're researching that and we're putting a package together. We just want to make sure that it's a good package for the consumer as well as for Foretravel and doesn't cause problems for them going, in the future.
So if the customers are asking for it, you're going to try to find a way to make it work?
We try to make it work.
As long as it's within reasonable expectations.
Yes.
And going into the next bed, the slide room is pretty high here, so I don't have to bend down too much, and then I can easily open that bay. And then with the positioning of this slide tray, we just, on the door here, I just press this button so you're not bending underneath the slide room. Really nice setup here.
And again, going back to safety features, so we actually install a interior release for the lock.
Okay.
So if somebody happens to get shut inside, you can pull the red cable and undo the lock from the inside.
Like the old trunk release.
Yep, there you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you guys are loaded up with microfiber towels. This takes me back to my detailing days. You got the really good microfiber towels.
You gotta get the good ones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But then we also see the Tyron tire bands, the toolkit, if someone does need to switch one of those steer tires. And that Tyron tire is standard on every Foretravel Presidential?
That's correct.
Yes, sir. I saw a video showing that technology recently, and really a game changer in the event of a blowout.
It is. Next storage bay in front of us is another full pass through. Here you see that pressure washer, and then in the bag you just have 2 folding chairs, you know, that you can use in the patio or inside if you need additional seating.
I don't know if I've seen these Foretravel folding chairs. Is that something new that you're doing, or?
No, we just started enclosing them a little bit better.
Do you mind if we pull them out? And see? A little sneak preview of the color combination that we're going to see on the interior. Some really cool colors, but very high-end folding chairs for your extra chairs for your booth area.
Yes. Something else that we include with every Presidential is a Spartan care kit that has all of your extra belts and filters for your first fluid change for the coach, except aqua hot and generator.
Okay.
So, you know, and it comes with a 3-year maintenance plan included. So as long as you're at a Spartan authorized service center, you can get your annuals done for free.
Really?
But a lot of times the shops may not have every filter or every belt, so we send it out with the coach.
On that note, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. What type of maintenance costs and what's the warranty on this coach? If someone buys a brand new Foretravel, what are they looking at for the first few years?
Yeah, so bumper to bumper is 2-year, 24,000 miles, 20-year on the components of the chassis, 5-year, 100 on basically everything assembled. Then it comes with a 3-year maintenance program. So your annuals for your first 3 years are paid for.
Wow.
As long as you go to an authorized Spartan service center.
Okay.
And again, you know, they may not have every filter, but that's the purpose of the care kit.
Very cool.
So the customer can use what they have, and then if they need to replenish that, they can just buy another one and stick it in the box.
And obviously wear and tear items aren't going to be covered, you know, tires, brake pads,
batteries,
rubber, that kind of stuff. If someone does go through that, that's, you know, an additional cost. But oil changes, you know, generator oil change, is that all included?
That is not included in the Spartan because we don't get that from them.
Yes, sir.
But if a shop is able to do the motorhome service, they can service the generator.
Yes, sir.
So, and the same goes true for the aqua hot system as well. It's additional.
Okay.
But everything on the chassis itself associated with the drivetrain is covered for that first 3 years.
On that note, we just talked about the service network for the Spartan chassis, but what about for warranty items on the house side of the coach? What's the service network for Foretravel on the house side?
Sure. With Blue Compass, you know, they're across the country, and a lot of their shops can work on our units. And then we have service centers that we've worked with across the country as well. And then, you know, if a customer is familiar with a shop, they're comfortable with a shop, we have no problem working with them to allow them to get warranty work done with wherever they are.
And do you have any type of technical support set up?
We do.
If owners have questions or shops have questions?
Sure, so we have two guys that work the phones during the day, and then we have an after hours phone call for customers for an emergency situation.
So customers always have someone that they can call if they need?
Yes, it's not 24/7, but it does cut off at 10 o'clock at night. But, you know, and it's for an emergency situation. And then Spartan has after hours customer contact as well. I know we already talked about batteries, but in front of the first storage bay is our 8 house batteries. So 6 are standard, and then 2 are optional, but they get put on every single coach. We already discussed the lithium pack, so that we're working with a couple different companies exploring options there.
Now I'm noticing these windows on the driver's side front slide room have a very cool look. Is that newer for 26, having those windows so close together? Or?
So when we switched window manufacturers 2 years ago, it allowed us to oversize the exterior glass. And so that's what allows us the ability to do the large panes on the outside.
It has a really sleek look. And then I'm noticing it looks like a cutout where this window can open as well.
Yes, so it actually pulls itself inside and then you can slide it forward. So this window manufacturer comes from the yachting industry. And so they have a very good name, and they've been very good windows for us.
That's something important to be able to get some fresh air. I know a lot of the motorhomes don't always have windows that can open up, so really nice feature. Looking forward to seeing inside.
Well, and what's nice about it too is it actually has a screen that's magnetically attached that travels with the window when you open it, so it automatically has the screen on it, but then you can also open the screen if you want to.
I see you have a Magna shade over the driver window here. Is that something that's an option, or?
That along with the screen door. So your exterior screens for Magna shade are an option, then the screen door is a secondary option.
Does the driver window open as well?
It does. It actually has an electric sliding window.
And then I'm seeing on this slide room window here, I don't know if I've ever seen this before, there's a little cutout on the slide room window. Does that open?
It does.
And is that new for 26?
No, that's we worked with the glass company because this window actually mounts from the inside and not the outside. So we had to get them to change how they fabricate the window, but because of our slide rooms, we don't have the tolerance to have something on the exterior.
Gives it that really flush look, but if you want to get a little airflow through so you can open both those windows. But coming around to the front end, I like this Foretravel logo on the Magna shade, and that is with that option we just discussed?
Yes.
And then of course the backlit Foretravel badge with that nice presidential series badging. And then I noticed a sensor up here. What's going on here?
So that is your on-guard adaptive cruise control, as well as your collision mitigation. So that will bring this coach to a complete stop if it detects a stopped object in front of you.
And I'm noticing a camera up top. How many exterior cameras does this coach have?
So the camera above the windshield, that's tied into your bird's eye view. So we have 2 additional cameras on each sidewall and then 1 in the rear. So for a total of 6 cameras. And that's what gives you that drone view that you can put on the dash if you want to.
And talking about the dash, I think the folks are gonna be really excited to see the all new updated dash, brand new for 2026. I don't think anybody's seen this yet.
Nope, you're the first one.
I'm excited. Let's take a look inside here. Coming into the entryway here, I'm noticing some nice lighting on your grab handle here. That's blacked out as well. And then we've got the executive steps here, a very robust step. Beautiful lighting on the entry doorway as well. What's all going on here in the entryway?
You know, obviously the executive step, I've not seen a better step in the market.
Just to show, is it okay if I jump on this step, which a lot of other motorhome steps you wouldn't dare jump on, doesn't even budge the motorhome. But then going into your entryway here, beautiful tile work here. Little tease of what they're about to see inside.
Yep, little tease, getting in some accents here. And you know, this is floor plan or color package dependent upon the interior selection. This particular one is a brand new color package called Sovereign. So I really hope that it's received well because everybody that's seen it has absolutely loved it. So that's what we're hoping for here at the show.
Well, I want to hear what you guys think. So please drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. But let's take a look inside. Kyle, I think you and your team have been hard at work designing this new dash. This is unlike anything we've ever seen with the 2 large screens on both sides, a huge digital dash. What else is going on up front here, sir?
You're looking at the end result of about a 3-year project between initial concept and design, working with our designer, getting foam plugs made, all the back and forth for fitting. So to see this project finally come to fruition and be done and everything working the way that it is really a testament to, you know, everybody that's had their hands on this. Again, this has been ongoing and our dash has been a common complaint that we need to update it. And so here we are, this is our answer to that. So we worked with the driver seat company, we worked with the mirror company, we worked with the steering column, we worked with Valid on all the screen setup, the pedals, all of that is memory featured now. So it goes off the key fob. I have a key fob, you have a key fob, you come up, when you activate the dash, it's gonna recognize the key fob and automatically go to those preset stop points for your mirror, your steering column, the driver's seat, and your screen display.
Okay, so if you maybe, you know, like having a rear view camera on this side and a 360 on that, or right and left on this side, you can set the way those cameras are gonna go back to sync to your memory?
Absolutely. And you know, just because I have my left hand blinker on the left screen and the right hand blinker on the right screen, I can select what I want there. So you can move that around, and there's still some software that we're working to hopefully in the future when you activate a blinker, it will go full screen to that respective side.
Well, and you said that people were complaining. And I test drove a 25 and I had 0 complaints, and I really like the clarity of your screens. And even on that 25, when I hit that left blinker, that camera just popped right up there to show me the side of the coach. It was extremely user friendly. I talked about that in that video when I test drove it. And I know wireless charging is really important, so I really like the placement of this right here. You just pop your phone on there, and then it's still almost becoming, you know, an ergonomic part of the dash, where if you need to glance at your phone, it's right next to this screen. It's charging, so if you're maybe running another navigation on your phone, really nice placement for that. And then, of course, when you slam on the brakes, you don't have to worry about it, you know, sliding into the windshield. Then we have USB ports up here, you know, simple lock doors. Is this going to be for your driver door, your baggage doors, or
Both.
Okay.
So they're tied together there.
Yeah, and then your genset control, your step cover, auxiliary lighting, overhead lighting, your headlights, all simple controls, battery boost if you need to jump off your house batteries. And it looks like an air ride seat. Now, can this seat spin around and become part of the coach?
Absolutely. So that's our big draw to this specific chair, is that it's not only air ride, it does have the ability to rotate.
Yes, sir, and a beautiful pattern with the two-toned kind of cream color inlay with a diamond stitch with the perforated leather. Is this a real leather, or what type of material?
It is real leather.
The beautiful piping, just so much detail work, the Foretravel logo upholstered in the headrest. And are these heated or cooled?
Both heated and cooled, driver and passenger, as well as massage.
Now, one of the things that really caught my attention when I first came in is this accent lighting here. When we look closely around the dash here, all the way around this front side, it really reminds me of like the Mercedes S-Class. Is this all a new part of the dash as well?
It is, and so you can change the color, you can have it go in waves, sync it to music. It has any feature that the new infinity mirrors or the exterior lights do, you can do the same thing here when you're parked. Then when you're driving, it's either red, white, or blue, but when you're stationary, it can be whatever color you want it to be.
Even nice, you know, accent lighting if you turn the rest of the lights off in the coach and you just need that little glow if you get up in the middle of the night and want to check on something. Really nice to have that.
Yeah. Seeing the two cameras, so you can actually switch your gauge cluster to a digital, and then you can put the 360 on the dash. So then you have all 3 cameras in your line of sight while you're traveling. So I drove this coach out from Texas to the show here, and driving behind it, it was nice. Everything's very user friendly. The ergonomics are there. Some people have some concern or reservation about AC controls only being digital. So we actually integrated knobs below as an override if somebody doesn't like the digital footprint.
Yes, sir. And these are really large controls as well, very easy to read. Some of us like that muscle memory of having the analog controls where you can just reach down like you have done in your car for decades. So nice to have that option.
Yep. And then we have a footrest that we integrated in. You have your air override switch and your diagnostic ports in the front cubby. And then another area that we wanted to focus on was the pedal assembly and covering that assembly up and cleaning up that area while maintaining good usable storage. So I think we've achieved that. I can do leveling from here, lights, I can control the shades as well. So I mean, as far as integrated and operation, this can almost touch and do everything on the entire coach.
Yeah, very easily. And you mentioned the shade controls, and we've got the shade controls on the steering wheel here as well. Really nice to have that. And then the usability of this knob, it's just extremely user friendly. It's almost like you can get in it without ever using the coach before and figure it out very quickly, a very easy learning curve.
You have a daytime, nighttime palette that automatically switch with the headlights. So we're excited about the dash. Like I said, it's been a big project, a lot of integration, a lot of design, and a lot of back and forth and a lot of time spent on computers, for sure.
So this is a totally different feel, different colors, different ceiling. What all is going on in the coach here?
Yeah, so this is a new color package. This is Sovereign. This is the first one, and everybody that's seen it has really liked it. New infinity mirrors, and the way that we designed it, and then we brought our AC ducting inside the recess, so then when your rooms are in, you still have access to that airflow being discharged and not just losing it on top of the rooms. So it cleaned up the ceiling a little bit too by pulling them out of the ceiling. But new countertop from our countertop fabricator, a new color, and two-tone cabinets. So anything with a countertop has a matte finish, and then a floor to ceiling or an upper is going to have the wood grain.
Yeah, it's still a matte wood grain, not that high gloss, and it's got like a nice texture to it. You can feel that texture, very high-end cabinetry. And what floor plan is this?
So we're in a luxury villa 2. So we have a 55-inch TV that articulates down above the driver and passenger. Then you have a 65 next to the booth that will come up. So you have a great seating across from it with motorized recliners. This particular one has a full-size airbed in the middle. So if you have that guest that's staying with you.
So 2 recliners and a bed and that cool diamond stitching pattern with the two-toned. And is this all real leather as well?
It is.
Yeah, very high-end finishes. And then are these leather as well, even these ottomans?
Yeah, and the ottomans, they are actually kind of dual purpose. One for storage, but then you can also flip it over and you can set this in between the driver and passenger seats, and then you have 2 additional drink holders.
Yeah, a lot of versatility, and I like the way that when we flip these over, that wood grain almost matches the cabinets. Just real warm colors inside of this coach. A little bit different. We've been seeing a lot of the the lighter grays and different tones, but this is definitely a new feel.
Yes, yes. And we're excited about it.
Yes, sir. And I've got to compliment you on your design, not having any cabinets above the window over the booth. And then the same thing above the sofa with recliners, no cabinets. You get really nice views out of those big windows there. And then we see that one side is extended here on the booth. I'm assuming this side extends out as well.
It will match it, and then you have a leaf that goes into the table.
So that will extend. And then where would we use those chairs that we saw in the basement, kind of around the dinette area?
You could do that, or even use them at the ottomans, if you have somebody sitting in one.
So what else is going on in this coach?
So our designer, she picked out the handles and the faucets all to match. This is all a brand new color from the manufacturers out there. Typically not a brown and gold person, but I really do like this interior color palette. I think it turned out very nice.
And I'm seeing signature kitchen suite appliances on the microwave, refrigerator. Is there a reason you chose this brand?
Signature Kitchen Suite is LG's top of the line. One of the main reasons that I selected them is for the refrigerator. So not only does it make multiple kinds of ice, but it also has the ability to make craft ball ice. So for people's drinks, or if you're going out hiking, you put it in your water bottle and it lasts a long time. But really what sold me on the product is the refrigerator has a concierge service. For 3 years, if you ever have an issue with it, Signature Kitchen Suite will send a technician to the customer's location and make any repair needed for the refrigerator. And the fact that they signed off on that with it being in a motorhome, because most people, say, okay, it's in a motorhome, sorry, you don't have warranty.
Yes, sir, a lot of value to that. You mentioned craft ball ice. Is that like the big ice cubes that we're talking about, like we see in the craft cocktails?
This coach has been winterized. They are about a 2-inch diameter.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, it's really nice, and then it makes a nugget and crushed and cubes as well. So.
Well, and I'm also seeing a wine refrigerator here as well. Is that from the same company, Signature?
No, that is from a different company. Signature doesn't make a wine chiller that small. This is an 18 bottle. And then we run a ASCO washer and dryer, which is 240 vented. We try to stay away from the condensation dryers. Had some issues with those in the past, just taking longer to perform well with them being in a motorhome. Outside of a motorhome, they're a lot better unit. You start looking for a vented 240 volt dryer for a motorhome size, and there's very limited options, but ASCO is a great brand. They're all stainless steel on the inside, and been very pleased with them.
Yes, sir. Then coming back into the galley area here, does this have a dishwasher?
It does have a Fisher Paykel dishwasher, and then we also have a countertop extension.
Oh, nice.
That then you can still utilize the drawer storage underneath. Nice. And then below this, you have a double culinary drawer to where you can
lot of storage here.
Yep.
Looks like soft close as well.
Soft close, self-closing. So all the drawers have that. It takes 20 pounds to open them. And then all the doors are gonna have your grabber latches to keep them closed while you're traveling.
Okay, and yeah, you mentioned these countertops, but I really like the style of the veins here and the way they come through your cooktop cover and your sink cover. And these colors, really tie in with the cabinets and the hardware, almost like a gold or bronze kind of tan.
Yeah.
Really nice color combination. That gold backsplash back there just really ties together well.
Yeah, it came out nice for sure.
And then the rise and grind, the core piece there, I think that's a saying a lot of us motorhomers can live by. Did you just stage this for the show, or is that something that comes with the coaches?
Oh, so we do that on all of our coaches prior to shipping them to the dealers, just because they show so much better.
Absolutely.
With some decorations.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Now, is this a bath and a half coach?
It is. So directly behind me is the half bath. Before we get to that, you do have floor-to-ceiling storage here. Solid wood, dovetailed maple drawers. Again, soft close, self-closing.
Nice.
And then directly behind that is your electronics, your AV, and then more storage above.
Yes, sir, and I've got to compliment this wall, the woodwork, that slight curve to it gives it a nice feel. And this wood grain just has such a warm texture, really different than what we've seen in a lot of the motorhomes. So really a nice style here. And then this inlay on this door here, the team at Foretravel's always done an awesome job with the inlays on these doors, but this is cool with almost that gold look to it. Is this something new for this coach?
For this color package, the inlay, you can have unlimited combinations, and so this is what our designer just picked out to go with this particular color package.
Now, could someone custom order a Foretravel and maybe want a different color for that inlay on the door? Or is it pretty much once you choose this color package, that's kind of what you're getting?
Everybody always wants their own personal flair to it. And so we will do some of those things. Sometimes we have to draw a line and, if we start getting too crazy. But, something like changing an insert or maybe changing a leather material or color, that's not that big of a deal.
Okay, cool. But your team is, trained to build these, and they've been building this LV2 floor plan. It's been a pretty popular floor plan for quite some time.
It has.
How long have you been building this LV2 floor plan?
Probably going on 5 years now.
So something to be said about repetition, and when they do the same thing over and over. Definitely get better at it every time.
So we have a new house panel midship of the coach here, and this gives you more control. We also have a new software package on the house side for the controls on the screen. So this is from Silverleaf, and this is new graphics for them and how you control everything on the coach.
Cool having that door to tuck it out of the way where it's out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
It's a nice finished off look.
And you see the duplicate thermistors, so we run a backup. So if something happens to the network, you still have control, so you have backup thermostats. Same thing with the generator controls and your aqua-hot controls, your water pump, your water fill, all those redundant systems that we have in place. In addition to having your vacuum cleaner hose connection behind this door, you also have a floor sweep where you can just Swiffer it up and scoop it right up.
Yes, sir. And coming back here into the rear bedroom here, I noticed that same really cool style on the ceiling just really makes it pop.
And that is, again, new for the 26 model year, this being the 26 prototype, obviously, and it has the ducted AC in it as well as the infinity mirror.
Okay, so that's still considered an infinity ceiling.
Yes.
Like we've seen in previous presidentials, just a newer style.
Right.
Is it a king-size bed? It looks like it's kind of folded up right now.
Yeah, so it articulates. It measures 78 inches when it's flat, and then it's basically two twins. So what I always encourage customers is to get twin deep-fitted pocket sheets and then a king top sheet, and that way you can move each side independent and not sit there and stretch and have that bubble in between.
Okay, so if maybe a couple, one person wants to stay up, keep watching TV, and the other wants to lay down flat, you do have that option?
Right.
Nice.
And they have massage features built into them as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Heated and cooled yet, or?
Not
in the bed,
not yet. Not yet.
Someday.
Yeah. Another nice feature, and our customers are the best people to listen to. And so we had a customer that had a CPAP machine. He was like, I just hate the thing being out. So we actually integrated 120 on each end, and then we have a pass-through for the hose So if you have a CPAP machine, you can stick it in the overhead, plug it up, and then just run the hose out.
Okay.
So it's a lot easier. And then, setting on a nightstand or whatever. Then you have 2 wireless chargers on each nightstand, as well as 120 USB, USB-C.
Across from the bed, again, I like that there's no cabinets above the window to have that nice open space for the window. But it looks like another TV on a televator?
Yes, so you have a 55 on the lift here as well. And then on either side, you have half shirt closet and then 4 more additional drawers on either side.
With that downlit hanging as well. But I know one of the strongest points of Foretravel has always been these huge rear bathrooms. And it's got a wider opening going into the bathroom behind you. What's going on behind you there?
Yeah, so one of the very nice attributes of the Luxury Villa 2 floor plan is, the opening, but having the bath and a half, but then within the rear bath, you actually have a private toilet.
Yes, sir.
Within the rear bath. That has been a very popular thing we have found that people really enjoy. Not to mention the showers.
Huge rear shower too, and just beautiful tile work here in the Sovereign color package with the whites and golds. A very impressive build here.
And then behind you, we're getting into, again, we talked about the ASCO. They perform well and they have great reviews. And we've had very good success with them. And then your closet, so you have 2 hanging rods and integrated shoe storage in the back wall.
Yeah, huge closet, again, downlit hanging bar, and then a full-length mirror here. So when you're getting ready, you've got that full-length look there.
Then on the bedroom side, you have one, so if a lady needs to get a little bit further away to get her shoes and everything in the picture, you can simply close the door and there's a mirror full length on it.
Okay, so are these pocket or air doors here?
These are pneumatic.
Okay.
So, they are press and hold. So it's plain on this side and a full-length mirror on the other side.
A huge rear bathroom. We got 3 big guys here in the rear bathroom with plenty of elbow
with a
room.
private toilet door.
Yes, sir.
Closed,
yes, sir. And that huge shower back there. This has always impressed me. There's a little step up, but then we have a skylight here, but just beautiful decor back here. And then another area to store your shampoo, body wash, with that beautiful tile work inside as well. Even, bigger folks would be really comfortable back here. Taller folks as well. Just a huge rear shower. And you also offer the bathtub. Is that still an option on some of the 25s here?
It is.
We've got the double sinks with this updated hardware that matches that cool backsplash. Very rich colors, but very warm at the same time. And what all else is going on back here in your vanity area?
You have storage behind each mirror, and then the center is a pull-out that's dual accessed on either side.
Yeah,
so you
nice.
kind of have, a 2-person cabinet.
Split storage,
Yep.
a second level of countertop. Really nice how you do that.
Something that I thought was kind of cool on these bathroom faucets is they actually have a sprayer that you can pull out just like a kitchen faucet.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that on a bathroom before, and I like that, even the black braided hose just to really tie in with the colors. I like that octopus gold decor piece there, giving a little bit of that James Bond GoldenEye look to it.
And just storage underneath the sink, some storage beside, and then storage in the drawers.
And we have all the lights on right now, but I'm seeing some more indirect lighting as well. Looks like indirect lighting, a lot of subtle lighting if someone wanted to keep just a few lights on at night so you could walk around and get to that second water closet. Now, the emergency egress door, is that going to be here behind the toilet?
It is. And then it just has a panel that is removable at the bottom of the door that's held on with magnets. Then that's where your ladder is stored, so that's where it articulates out and then telescopes down.
Okay, so you could very quickly get in and out. And I know some of the other emergency egress doors on the market, it's kind of like a one-shot use. Is this something that if you want to load stuff in, you can open it and lock it, unlock it, use it as many times as you need?
Absolutely.
Nice. And plenty of room. I've got to compliment the tile work up the side of the wall here in your water closet. Every little detail, even in your water closet as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Now, are these floors heated?
They are. So it's split into 3 zones.
Okay.
And so you have a schedule where you can have them come on at certain times and go off at certain times. And you have an AM and a PM setting for that schedule. So
okay, so heated floors all the way in your bathroom, all the way to the front of the coach.
Yes.
And then on this area below the booth on the slide room Is that going to be heated as well?
That as well as the drop floor. So
The drop floor is heated too.
Yes.
Wow, that's very impressive. Not everybody's doing that.
No, you're right there. It is a little bit of a challenge in manufacturing, but we figured out how to make it work. So
Tyler, I really appreciate the opportunity to see this 2026. Really impressive what you and the team at Foretravel have done here. Now, if someone's a serious and qualified buyer and they want to purchase a new Foretravel or custom order a new Foretravel, what's the best way to do that?
yeah, you can go to my website, and from there I actually have a dealer tag that says dealer inventory. And you can click on there and it'll bring up all the available coaches, you know, at my dealer's locations.
Awesome. Foretravel.com?
Foretravel.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for your time. So
thank you
appreciate
and the team.
Yeah, my pleasure. Also appreciate all of you subscribing and liking these videos. We hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a good day.